It's loading. It's not a big library. It's around 5.5 gigs, but this is very familiar if you're into the Nord sound. Two of my favorite sounds, and this is nothing against those who love the Nord. I just think it's overpriced. Yes, they hold the value, and it's cool. It's like the Ferrari, but I think for if you're only using the piano and the pad, I think it's a waste of money. If you're a touring musician and you do this for work and you use everything within the piano, well, go for it. But in my opinion, I think you can get a similar sound using a less expensive keyboard, but you can't rely always on your libraries or your computer. But on your computer, if you have one, you can use a MIDI controller like I am using a Keylab 61 Mark 1 and just the contact libraries. And I can get I can get sounds that I couldn't do it just with a Nord by itself. So I combine different keyboards with pads and drones in order to get my sounds when either we're going to record something at church, and sometimes they play everything on the Nord, and when I have to re-record, I use my libraries. And so far, no one has me make a complaint that, hey, that's not the Nord sound. So that tells you something. All right, so my favorite piano in here, and you have also a library, is the Grand 3D. And my pad, my favorite pad is this one called Huge Ambient, and it just sounds amazing. I don't use anything else. I don't use the compressor or the reverb, the delay, the chorus, the trem. You can use it, but I think this is amazing. Now, you have an EQ, 3-band EQ, which is amazing. The compression is not necessary. You can play with it, and you can also have programs, which is really cool. All right, so let me show you. I'm not a great pianist, just to let you know, or a piano player. I'm not, but I can hold chords, okay? So let me play something real quick without any pad, just so you get an idea what this sounds. Okay, it's very warm, very cool. I like it. Now let's bring in the pad, because the pad sound on this, if I'm completely sincere to you, it's wetter than the Nord. I don't know if this is a copy of the library or how they got this pad, but it's just amazing. It sounds something like this. That right there is an amazing sound. I hope that you have a good pair of in-ears. I use this one for most of my when I'm just need to go and we're doing a prayer session. We don't want to be moving the Nord. I can put this in the back cafe with my audio interface and the Arturia, my sustain pedal, which is a tiny pedal. And I'm good to go. And also, I have about 9 drawbars or places where I can have automation with different volumes, and I can use other things in combination with this, whether in Reaper or directly on Contact. Usually, I will use Reaper, and I'll stack different sounds from different libraries, and that's the advantage of having you audio interface and a MIDI controller. Or if you love the sound of your piano, you already have one. I like my MIDI controller because it's tiny. But if you have your Juno or another workstation that is inexpensive, like another of my favorites, the Yamaha MX 61 key, that could be amazing, and you can combine it. All right, so another library that I used to use before this one, which is also amazing, it's also a Nord library. It's called the Piano 3. And it's a very small library. It's about like 5 gigs, but it has an amazing sound altogether. It has a DX EP, but let's take that off. Let's put down the pad, because this is just one sound of the piano. And I think this piano, it's for some reason, I like it better than the other library. Um, let's just hear it because it could be just that I go back to it and has a certain sound that I like. Let's just hear what this sounds. Okay, now let's add the pad because also the pad in this one's amazing. You have a PCM pad, strings and choir. Same, you have phaser, chorus, delay. I don't use any of it. Same, the equalizer, I just don't touch it. The octave or I'm sorry, the octave. The drive, I don't use it either. Just turn on, I dial in the sound that I want, and that's it. So with the pad, it sounds even better. So listen to this. It's a really, really cool sound. It's different. I don't know if this is the Nord sound. The other one's better, but this is very unique and I really like. And there's a few others that I want to recommend you to check out. I'm not going to show you all of them, but let's say you don't like the Nord, but you want the the montage. This called one called Synthage. That is a copy of that. Another one that I love is the compact stage piano, which is a library based on the CP88 of Yamaha, which is kind of the competition, the Nord. That one is amazing. Or the Fantasy, which is based on the Roland. But there's this one library that I want to show you that is the best that I've heard, and is one that I just recently a friend of mine shared with me. There's the S90 Go, which is really cool. The MK Sensation's a bit old, but it has a very cool, I would say, 90s sound. So if you need something more vintage from the 90s or early 2000s, this one called the MK Sensation is just great. And this one I think is made by gospel musicians, which is they have the MK Sensations 2, which is also, I have that one for iPad. So that one's amazing. Okay, so here it is. This called the NK Stage is one of the best libraries I use, especially for worship, and it's so complete. And maybe this one could be the one that you can use it all. Use your pads, your strings, you can add organ with it, and you can have a continuous pad playing in the background. So let me load this one. Let's get rid of this one. And let me show you this one. I'm going to set it up real quick and then I'll show you how it sounds. Okay, so this one's a bit different. Let me move it over here. This library is just great. You have 5 layers instead of 4. And the first one's always going to be the piano. This piano is warm. It's just amazing. I love this piano. All the pianos in here are just amazing. Now, the only thing with this library, it's about, I think it's about 20 gigs. So it's a bit, a little bit heavy on the content it has, but it just sounds so good. And the other advantage with this library, other than the 5 layers, is this layer over here, because I could call it the 6, with 4 different layers of a continuous pad. But the piano, let me just show you this white grand piano. It sounds just warm and massive. Okay, I lower the volume too much, but it's a really good sound. Man, it just sounds so good in my in-ears. I hope that you have a really good and neutral sounding in-ears. One of my favorite in-ears right now. Right now, I want to recommend you these. It's called the KZ Dual, or the CCA Duo. I think it's one of those. Still KZ Dual Dynamic Driver. It just sounds amazing. All right, let's get back into this library. It's called the NK Stage, and let's just build something up. Now, in the drone, you have 4 different sounds you can combine. That's the Worship 3. Let's add the Ambient 1. Let's add, let's say, the guitars, and let's just end with the eBow. Okay, you can put them down, and I'm just gonna put them here a little bit lower. And let's just lower the volume all of it. And this is your drone that you can play with. It just plays in the background. You can bring it up. This is the ambient. This is guitars. And the eBow. Right there. Okay, and I can start playing. That is actually pretty cool. All right, so now I have 4 layers that I can add. Now, number 1, let's just turn that one off. Go M1, click here, and we're gonna go to mods. Now, when you click mods, piano, it's for the first layer. It's off right now, so if I play, there's nothing playing. There it is. So let's turn that off, and let's go to mods. And let's go mod 1. Let's go to digital EP. And one of my favorite ones is this. Where are you? Here, full tines. It just sounds great. It's got like a pad with it. It just adds this layer to the piano. It's got nice low end. It can really help the piano. I like it. It might not sound great by itself. All right, so now I want to use kind of like a different kind of a pad to it. So let's go to pad choir, and let's use which one? Atmosphere. Let's see if that one works. Let's see how that sounds. That's actually pretty cool. AirPad ambient. Let's try this one. Yeah, this one's better. Okay, and now let's go to mod 3. And let's add, what would be good? Let's add some strings. I think cinematic would be better. Let's put some of the volume up. All right, that's actually pretty cool. So we don't really need anything else. Maybe we can add another pad, or yeah, let's just leave it like that. And the MIDI learn, let's see, map select, user 1, perfect. Let's go MIDI learn. We're gonna put on the first one, MIDI learn. We're gonna use the second one. Go MIDI learn. We're gonna use the third one. All right, so let's MIDI learn the third one. There it is. Now at the end, we're gonna put the volume for this one, MIDI learn. Now we have full volume of this. I can also do the other 3, but for this, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't have a way to MIDI control this one here, but we're just gonna leave it for now. Okay, so let's go here and let's just start the pad. So I started the pad. Let's put up the ambient. I think that's a good start. Okay. And then let's just add some of the pads in here. Okay, before that, you have to actually turn them on. Now, pastor's preaching, they're having a deep talk. I haven't brought the piano yet. So now I can bring a little bit of the piano and the electric piano together. Okay, so that is kind of how I use this library specifically. Now, if you don't need the pad anymore, let's say we're moving on to something else, you can just bring it down. And this is kind of like the idea of this library. I really like it. I can add more. I can add another layer of pads. Wait, the shimmer. Let's see. Do I have any volume on the shimmer? No, I don't think I have. MIDI control, learn, put it here. There you go. So now we have another layer. So let's do the same. Let's see how these two sound. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Can add the drone. There it is. This is the drone. Let's add. There's the shimmer. The pad coming in. Okay, so let's say that's the intro of the service. And then we can bring it down slowly. Okay, that's just an idea of what you can do. I'm just getting ahead of myself. And this is like one of my favorite libraries. This is just one. Now, if you have Reaper, you can do many other things with your libraries, and you didn't have to spend that much money. I mean, I think all of this together less than $300 with the libraries. Now, of course, you have to have a laptop, you have to have a audio interface, a MIDI controller, or a MIDI controller with an audio interface. And it's a little bit of investment, but if you already have a workstation or small workstation, let's say the Roland Juno, which is one of my favorites, or one of those old Yamaha MX, which has got an amazing piano sound. I like the Yamaha pianos as well as the Roland pianos. You can also use other libraries like the if you're into the new piano, the V Stage from Roland, which is amazing. Well, you got the Synology libraries that you can use on Reaper, but that'll be for another video. All right, friends, I hope that this gives you an idea. If you're trying to get a worship sound and you want to get that Nord sound, the NK stage pianos is very similar to how the Nord feels, especially when you play it. It's very dynamic, and it really responds to you playing. Also, depends on your MIDI controller. You got to get used to the velocity of playing with that MIDI controller. But if this has helped you, please let me know in the comment section below. Leave me a comment, a message. All right, friends. So God bless you. I hope to see you soon. It would help a lot the channel if you just give me that thumbs up and you click the bell icon so YouTube lets you know every time we make new videos for you. All right, friend. God bless you. Stay safe, and I'll see you in another video. Ciao.